Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and you guys are watching Sipping with Jack. I know that the angle's really weird. I'm on my phone right now, so yeah, sorry y'all have to deal with the vertical look instead of the horizontal look. But I'm at my work desk right now. I just made myself a little cup of coffee. It's a hazelnut caramel coffee. Yes, I'm fancy. You know, Starbucks, during quarantine wasn't there for me, so I had to be there for myself. So yes. So but digressing from that, I wanted to talk about the whole Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez thing because y'all, it don't sit right with my soul. Like, the whole situation doesn't feel right, so I had to come on here and, like, I guess just express myself because I feel like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck is going on? Like, I just feel like I'm hearing so many narratives that are so unhealthy and borderline toxic that I'm just like, we gotta snatch this. Even though, like, I'm just a small person, like, I don't have that many followers, I don't have a lot of people that, like, listen to me, I just feel like I need to say something because, like, this personally just, like, offends the hell out of me. Like, I'm just like, I cannot do this, not at all. So if you guys don't know about the whole Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez situation, basically, oh, by the way, this is my mug. Ain't it cute? I got it for $4 at Walmart. But yeah, so if you guys didn't know about the whole Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez thing, is that Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion got into a verbal altercation. We can say that now since we kind of know the story. Before we didn't know the story, we thought it was just like a drive-by shootout situation. But it turns out that Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez got into a verbal altercation and Tory Lanez shot at her, to make it a lot more simple. So basically, a lot of people were like trying to figure out, like, you know, what's the whole storyline, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But before that storyline happened, before we knew the whole story, like Megan Thee Stallion or Tory Lanez shot at Megan Thee Stallion, I knew something was funky with this story because the whole situation kind of seemed off, but also the way Megan Thee Stallion came out with the statement, and I was like, this statement is so weirdly worded because she tries to like act like she like purposely excluded Tory Lanez's name out of it, and that's something that I really caught because she was like, this was a attack on me and only me for like the purpose of harming me. And I'm like, okay, we know that there was only like 3 people in the car, so if she's saying that it was just towards her, I'm like, okay, then why is Tory Lanez's name not in there? Because we thought they were best friends. Turns out they were hooking up, but like before that, we were like, they're really close. So when she didn't say his name, and I was like, okay, so I ain't sure this buttermilk, honey. Like, and we also know that Tory Lanez was arrested for having a gun, I guess, or concealed weapon in his car. So I was like, okay, I'm like, there's something really funky, and, you know, now we know that Tory Lanez shot at her, and it just, like, hurts me, like, this whole situation, like, just really hurts me, and just rubs me the wrong way, because the way that Megan Thee Stallion is being portrayed, like, she was a victim. She was a victim of domestic violence, no matter how you want to sway it or whatever, because some people are like, they were just smashing. But it's like, even if you trust someone with your, like, mind, body, soul, whatever, if you trust them and you're in an intimate relationship with them, even though it might not be public or it might not be that deep, you guys are still connected. And for it to happen to the point of now this man feels entitled to shoot you, like, to shoot you, literally blows my mind. That it's like, we can't, like, I feel like the only option in this, like, whole weird crazy story is that we have to protect Megan Thee Stallion. We have to feel some form of empathy or some form of just understanding and compassion towards her, because she went through something very traumatizing, like super traumatizing. And I feel like I don't see that. I don't see that narrative happening. I don't know why it's not happening. And I remember speaking to someone about this. They were like, well, it's gonna like kind of break her image of being like this hard girl where she like stealing money from mans and like she's the one who controls the relationship. But I'm like, you know that these people are people at the same time. Yes, they have like this image to uphold and protect, but at the same time they're still humans. So like if something traumatizing happens to you, then hey, I'm just gonna be there and give you support during this time. And she brought up the good point of on Twitter that it's like black women, we're just not that protected. Like we think we should be so strong. And I don't, I'm paraphrasing the hell out of her Twitter post, but like it comes to that point where it's like black women, we aren't protected in that same way. We're expected to uphold this standard of just being strong, that we can just take anything, especially like domestic violence or being shot at, that it's like whenever I get over it, sis, it's not that deep. And it's like, yeah, it literally is that deep. Like I just don't understand where this notion came from. And the main reason I actually wanted to talk about this story was that new information came out. And sorry, I'm looking around. But like the new information came out where this guy on No Jumper podcast, I think he was talking about it, and he was saying this is exclusive. Not exclusive, but he said this is what I heard. Wink, wink. But he was saying that basically Tory... I'm so sorry. Jesus, forgive me because I'm about to be shady as hell during these next couple of parts. So please forgive me. But it's like, so basically they were saying that Tory Lanez and Kylie Jenner were flirting at this house party. And I'm like, oh man, whatever. If that's a story y'all want to say, but like, whatever. So basically they were flirting, and like when they, I don't know. See, this is my girl. Let me shut my mouth because I'm about to be just me. Like, that was just me, but like, okay. That's a story y'all want to say, that Tory Lanez and Kylie were flirting. Whatever. So anyway, apparently they were flirting. Megan Thee Stallion didn't like that, so when they went back to the car, Meg, I guess, was telling Tory Lanez, like, hey, this was not okay situation. And the guy was saying that like she was berating the fuck out of him, and basically, disrespecting the hell out of him. Basically, that's what he was saying. And let me tell you why that triggered the fuck out of me. It was like, in that situation, I was like, oh my gosh, like, even though this woman has been shot at, this woman literally went through so much trauma, but we're still trying to say, to the point of like, we're mustering this all back down to be like, well, she started it. It was her fault. She probably should have just kept her mouth quiet and should have just minded her business. But it's like, no. If Megan Thee Stallion felt some type of way about something, she has the right to say that, hey, this situation does not feel right for me. I don't feel comfortable with that. But it's like, we all know sometimes these situations where a woman tries to bring up something that she feels uncomfortable with, you know what a man's gonna say? You crazy, you tripping, blah, 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 all that stuff. So it really made me mad that like they were even saying that like, well, Meg was coming at him. Meg was being disrespectful and foul, that like Tory Lanez thought like, and the guy was saying like it still doesn't like negate what he did to her. Like it does not make it any better. But I'm like, you know that there's so many people in this world that will take it that way. They were like, well, Meg disrespected him. Yeah, she deserved to get shot at. Like, that was rude. Like, what she did to him was rude. Like, she hurt his feelings. Like, that's rude. Like, that, it's like, some people, this is like enough for them to like feel like Tory Lanez is justified with his behavior, which he's clearly not. Sorry, I'm also at work right now, so I'm supposed to be on my computer. Some of my programs shut down, so clearly means I'm not on here. So let me just get that up. But like, it just like surprises me that it's like, still this woman can say that she's been traumatized. She's been shot up by a man. And then some people are still running with the narrative, but like, what did she do? Like, what did she do to get that bad? Even though we know in the story that Megan Thee Stallion tried to leave the car. Like, she tried to get out, and that's when Tory, like, allegedly, this whole thing happened. Like, she was trying to leave the car and, like, get herself out of the situation. And Tory Lanez took upon himself to be... Oh, jeez, I'm about to say some words. You know, I had to calm myself there. But it's like, Tory Lanez took it upon himself now to be that person to cause more chaos, to cause more, you know, traumatization and cause more violence in the situation, which was completely unnecessary. I don't appreciate a narrative where anything happens to a woman and somehow people feel like, well, what did she do? No, there never has to be that. We don't even need to normalize this behavior. If a person is shooting at another person because they don't like what they're being told or what's being said in the situation, then that's something wrong with them. That is something wrong with them, and I don't even want anything else to be said. Like, we should all be looking at Tory Lanez like, what is wrong with you, sir? Do you not have that much emotional maturity to be like, hey, I know that this isn't true what she's saying to me, but hey, I know that she's mad because he was flirting with Kylie Jenner. Okay, I guess people don't have high standards. I guess that's what's happening nowadays. But I digress. But it's that it's like, we should look at Tory Lanez and being like, this behavior is not normal. We should never be like, well, he's justified. No, his behavior was not justified in any way. He should have enough emotional maturity, because somehow emotional maturity is always put on women to have, but like men always get this like free pass to be like so unhinged. Like, I swear they're just unhinged. Some of these men, they're so unhinged, and they can't even be like held accountable for any of their actions in a weird way. Like, they're just like, oh, well, they felt disrespected. You're an actual adult, dude. An actual adult in their mid to late 20s. I think he's like 27. But it's like, if this is the emotional response you are taking and this is how you're reacting, this is a reaction of a child. And I ain't trying to be mean, but I am coming for people's throats right now, because I want you to understand that this is not okay. This whole situation was not okay. The way that you guys have been treating Megan Thee Stallion is not okay. We are all adults. I bet if you knew someone in that situation, y'all be like, would you guys josh her? Would you guys take the side of a man that shot at somebody else? Regardless, you know, this was a, you know, domestic dispute. Like, that's still not okay. Like, it's still not okay. We shouldn't be like, and that the new information that came out that it's like Meg started it. I don't give a fuck what happened in that car. The way that it transpired was literally so unnecessary that it literally boils my blood that now this story, exclusive to what people have been heard or what people have been told, is that now that like Meg Thee Stallion was the one that like disrespected the hell out of him, and that's why he had to shoot her. Like, miss me with all that bullshit. Like, miss me with it, because I'm tired. Like, I'm literally tired, that to the point where I had to just hop on, make some coffee, and just berate the shit out of this topic, because I don't like how the narrative is being spun. I don't like any of this shit, because I feel like this is gonna be another situation where a man just kind of like is like, well, you know, he was disrespected. Kind of like makes sense. And it's like, it doesn't motherfucking make any sense. Like, it's like, how is it a woman who asks questions is seen to be the crazy one, but the guy who actually pulls out a gun and shoots her is like still not deemed the crazy one? Like, my nigga, he crazy. Like, this dude is so unhinged and crazy that like his next line of defense which is not words. Not blows my actual damn mind, is that it's not words for him. It's like literally going to the most extreme and shooting at someone. Girl, my head be stressed. I don't know. I just felt like I needed to get all of that out, because I feel like crazy. Like, it's not like feeling crazy, but it's like I feel like there's like this overwhelming narrative that I'm like, I don't know how y'all are seeing it, because I don't see it. Like, I literally do not see it that way. And you guys are so comfortable to see it that way that it literally scares me. That I'm literally sitting here and being like, how is A plus B equal 500? Like, that's how you guys are going about this mental thinking. And you know, now sitting here like kind of venting about my feelings, it's like most of these people who are saying this stuff, they're young. They haven't lived life. They haven't had these experiences to actually, I guess, validate an appropriate response to the situation. But still, it's like I feel like this is an experience that we can really learn about, and we can talk about, and we can see about, because like this situation was not okay. And it kind of like alludes back to the whole like Chris Brown Rihanna thing, because I feel like I was kind of like, if y'all were like 14, 13, or 15 around this Meg Thee Stallion situation, I was the same age when the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna thing happened. Can you imagine? It's been like over 10 years, like a decade. Life, wow. But anyway, I remember the way that happened, and don't even get me started how Chris Brown still has a career, but like, whatever. But it's like, that, like, he was crucified because he hit Rihanna. And I know some people were saying like, well, what did she do? But like, that narrative was so like the minority that people didn't even see it. People saw the shit for what it was. It was just a man beating a woman, and we didn't take that shit. Like, I remember even Jay-Z was like, he's a dead man walking. Like, people came up and like rallied for Rihanna, because we were like, this situation can never happen again, and we cannot stand by it. Like, I don't know if our standards were just damn near higher back then, or just like we're just now in this like loosey-goosey social media world where it's like I feel like there's just so many young people. I think maybe that's the issue. There's so many young people that have, you know, loud voices, and they're able to like express themselves a lot better, because versus when I was 13, 14, I didn't have MySpace or Facebook. Well, I had MySpace, but like, yeah, that's how old I was. I had MySpace, but like, I didn't have Facebook or any of that stuff. So it's like, you kind of had to take it for what it was kind of at that time, because like Twitter, you can kind of see what's all going on, and like IG, you can kind of see what's all going on. MySpace, it's like you followed the people you followed, but it's not like you're really like weirdly seeing that much. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, from what I can remember, you only really saw the people you were following, what they were doing, and then all the other information you found out on like e-news or like celebrity like TV, like celebrity news. I don't know why I said celebrity TV, but like celebrity news outlets. Yeah. So like, you know, TMZ, E-News, Entertainment Tonight, like all of those things, you would find actual information. And I feel like now in current day, present day, we have Twitter, we have IG, we have all of these other platforms where we can have information, like celebrity information, readily available. We know what celebrities are doing on like a daily basis because they show us what they're doing. So I feel like it kind of takes away, I guess, I guess like, I want to say that it takes away their almost accountability for their actions, because we get to such a personal point with them, versus like, you know, the whole Rihanna Chris Brown thing. We only saw them as celebrities. We didn't really know, like, you know, Ruby, I didn't see her on the beach, you know, chilling. I didn't know what she was doing cooking in her house. Like, I didn't really know that much about Chris Brown or Rihanna like that. But like, now we've been So now that we saw that, we knew this was an isolated situation that was not right. Like, we know black, white. This is wrong. Period. We don't even need to ask so many questions. We know that this situation's wrong. And by the way, like, how long my nails are. I'm about to cut them soon. But, like, we know that the situation was wrong. We don't have to take into, like, I guess we didn't have to take so much of their background in. But now we're in the situation where you see Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. And I hope you guys are following what I'm saying. But, like, now we see Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. And we've kind of almost dehumanized them in a way. I don't know how to say this. But it's like, we don't really see them as people anymore. Like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. But it's like, we feel so close to them. Which I'm an adult. I don't really care. But it's like, I feel like there's these little kids that probably watched Tory Lanez, and, you know, he had that quarantine radio show or whatever, where, like, he came and talked, and people, like, feel like, oh, well, he's my friend. Like, he's close to me. Like, he wouldn't do that. Like, we're somehow, like, being passive with accountability because we feel like we know them. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, we feel like we know them to the point where it's like, they wouldn't do that. Like, what did they do? Because it's like, you're the other person involved. You might not follow them that deep. You might not see them that deep. Or, like, have that personal connection. That it's like, you can see, like, this narrative is just not being really well portrayed. Because it's getting very wiggity wonky for my liking, and Meg Thee Stallion is not being portrayed as the victim that she is in this situation. And I feel it's because, like, people don't really understand the severity of the situation, or people think that, like, they're so damn close to these people that they can't see Tory Lanez being a problem, or seeing that he's crazy, or, like, seeing that, like, he's the one who took it too far. Like, Meg Thee Stallion, she asked some questions. Does that all of a sudden equal a death sentence? And I know some people are like, wasn't that deep? Like, she didn't die. But it's like, it could have been that deep. It could have been, hey, if his gun was a little higher, if he moved a different way, if she moved a different way, it could have been a worse situation. And I want people to understand that, like, these people, and when I say these people, I mean Tory Lanez and people like him, need to be held accountable for what they did. We are not passing blame to someone else and be deflective of their behavior because someone else, well, somebody else was being mean to them, so they're allowed to say whatever they want. No, we're not here for that anymore. So yeah, so I wanted to rant about that for a little bit. Just need to get that off my soul because I was like, this got me fucked up. I was like, I was just like, no, I can't let this just sit in my head and, like, let it brew, because I just feel like I have so many thoughts, and these thoughts are just real. Like, I was just like, this, and it's weird because I feel like no one's really talking about it in the way that I'm speaking about it, which there might be people, and I hope that their voices in, like, this mindset and this narrative is going to be, you know, broadcasted to more people, because Meg Thee Stallion is a victim. She is a victim. She needs to be protected. We need to show her compassion for this situation, because nobody ever deserves this. And I'm very scared that that's not what the narrative is. Oh, child, girl. Anyway, basically wanted to come on here, talk about this. Let me be honest, I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just basically just going to put it out because, Lord Jesus, no, I don't got time for that today, you know? But I hope you guys like this kind of, like, talk. I'm going to post this up on my YouTube. I'll post maybe something on IG just to show that it's out there. But overall, thank you guys for watching. I might even make this a little podcast, little, like, short form thing. I don't know, just to put something out over there. But let me know how you guys think about this whole situation. Do you feel like you're comfortable with the narrative that Meg Thee Stallion kind of started it? That, like, he was Tory Lanez was justified for what he was doing, or do you guys feel the same way that I feel, that like this is very toxic, and a very, very dangerous narrative to have, that it's so sad that even Meg Thee Stallion has to come out and say that like she was traumatized and she feels hurt. Like, my brain hurts. Like, this society just makes me feel like, I don't know, either this society makes me feel like, I'm old. Like, am I old? Or I just think so logically and other people think so illogically that it made my brain hurt. Like, I am confusion right now. Like, I'm just confused. So, anyway, just let me know how you guys feel. And I want to thank you guys for listening to my little, thirsty thought with some coffee this morning. If you guys are watching this anytime, just tell me how you guys feel. And I will see you guys next time. And don't forget to keep on sipping, guys. And enjoy your day. All right, bye.